Hello and welcome to Intern Insights. I'm Dr. Bruce Finkley. I'm the Mass Communication Internship Coordinator here at the University of Montevallo. Internships provide students with valuable real-world experience, and this show highlights where our students intern, what they're learning there, and how they're bringing that knowledge and experience back into the classroom. Joining me on this episode is Amelia Valery, who is interning with Educator Dynamics. Amelia, thanks so much for being here.
Of course, thanks for having me.
So let's start off a little bit. A lot of our audience may not be familiar with Educator Dynamics. Tell us a little bit about the company.
So Educator Dynamics is my supervisor is an entrepreneur, CEO of Educator Dynamics and founder. And it is about school culture coaching, which is kind of like, most people don't know what that is, but yeah, it's about kind of working with school admin teams to kind of improve the culture of the school in the work environment, to kind of help that trickle down from admin to teachers to students and create a better learning environment for everyone that's included in the school system.
So as an intern there, what are your responsibilities? How are you plugging in there?
So I do a lot of branding work and a lot of social media work, and kind of just using that to get the message out there and what Educator Dynamics can do for school administrators and teachers doing their other curriculum courses that Educator Dynamics does offer. And so I kind of work with definitely our social media manager in that way, and doing the personal brand for my supervisor as well as the professional brand for the company. And I also work with doing presentations and branding those for whether it's workshops or conferences that my supervisor might speak at, and kind of just making sure that those look cohesive and professional, and also just making sure that the team runs smoothly, as well as helping with the podcast that my supervisor hosts.
So you're doing some social media, you're doing some podcasting, you're really kind of pulling a lot of different areas of mass communication,
a little bit of everything,
into this opportunity that, you know, on its surface, somebody that's looking for an internship may not ever consider this type of company. So how did you find out about this opportunity there?
So it's like little family connections and everything working out for me a little bit. But one of my mother's companies was working with them on a project, and was finding out that they needed an intern, and was like, you should, go and email and see what they're looking for. And so I did, and I kind of went on like a trial basis, because I started in the summer of 21. And so during the summer, and it kind of just went from there.
So you have been with Educator Dynamics for a while, and part of that was in a heavy time during the pandemic. So have you done remote or in person or hybrid?
It's mostly remote, just because of the nature of the company and also the nature of the workers at the company. A lot of my coworkers, we're spread throughout the country or throughout the world. So my supervisor currently lives in Maine. She just moved from Las Vegas, and then I have another coworker who lives in Virginia. I have another coworker who lives in Michigan. So we're kind of scattered all over and around, but yeah, it's been great to kind of work on my own schedule and to be able to do just Zoom. I know we're all tired of Zoom meetings, but kind of just be able to do that and work from my dorm pretty much, and get to do it when I can and when I have the chance, and they're very flexible around my class schedule.
So has it been challenging though, not being physically face-to-face with those people? Sometimes,
yeah, it can be challenging, because I am the kind of person who loves to have that interaction and that closeness. And sometimes, we do get to meet up and we get to interact in person, but it doesn't happen as much as we'd like. But it's still great, because being in the college environment, and especially graduating so soon, I am so hectic and busy here that I don't have to commute. I don't have to go anywhere. So, I can just open my laptop and I can do my work and meet my deadlines when I can.
Yeah. So what are some things during all this time that you've been there that have surprised you about how you've been able to use your mass comm skills?
There's definitely been a couple different things. There's some skills that I've learned that I think I've transferred here in some ways. I've learned a lot about Canva, and love Canva, designing graphics and doing different social media posts and things like that. I definitely got to use Premiere Rush in my internship, and editing reels and TikToks and things like that. And so when we came back, especially in 327 and now in 499, doing social media posts and things like that, I already had a little bit of experience, so I was a little bit more comfortable. with those programs and those things.
Yeah.
And it's also kind of what I learned here in the classroom and being able to edit videos and edit testimonials and interviews on Premiere and doing that for my internship. So it's kind of a little bit of a vice versa situation, crisscross, and getting to use things here and there.
Yeah, well, and it makes me think of how we always talk about the skills that we're learning here in mass comm are not just you got to be a news reporter, you got to be a sports broadcaster, you got to be a YouTuber or an editor. You can take these skills and apply them to all of these different types of jobs, because at the end of the day, what we're teaching is storytelling. And everybody, every company has a story to tell. And so I love that you've got that flexibility in your skill set. So I know kind of what the next chapter is for you. So tell us what plans are after graduation.
Plans are very exciting for after graduation. I am going to be attending the Columbia Journalism School up in New York, New York. And I'm going to get my Master's of Science in Journalism and kind of be putting an emphasis in hopefully learning more about international journalism and photojournalism. So
Nice.
kind of see where it'll take me after
Yeah.
that.
So, I mean, going from Montevallo
Yeah.
to the Big Apple, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I'm beyond excited. I'm beyond happy to go. I think definitely when I came here, a couple years ago to Montevallo, I wasn't really a city person, and I never expected to go to school in a big city. If anything, like I was going to go to like a bigger school, maybe in a college town, but it wasn't going to be New York or in LA or San Francisco. And so kind of evolving and doing other things and the experiences I've had over the past couple of years, I've been really excited to kind of widen my canvas a little bit. And being able to kind of have the landscape of New York to be what you can go out and find stories in it's unending.
Yeah.
You can find so many things to report on, so many interesting people, and the melting pot that is New York that you can find the stories for.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for me.
You should be.
And
You should
so
be.
yeah, I'm very excited to see what stories come out of it, and yeah, just see where it takes me. But.
Well, I am so excited for your
Thank
next
you.
chapter. So for a student that is, a couple years younger than you, that maybe considers interning at a place like Educator Dynamics, what would your advice be to them?
My advice would probably be to just stay flexible, be open-minded. I am so lucky that I have coworkers and I have a supervisor that is very flexible to work with me. And we're also like a very tight team. We're a team of all women. No men work at the company, which is kind of
Do you need
kind
me
of
to
great.
leave? Should
Should you just, no, it's okay. But yeah, it's kind of great to have that supporting group of women just behind me, celebrating me every step of the way. And when I'm graduating, going to Columbia, they were very supportive of me. And so just kind of being able to be open enough to accept an opportunity like that you can find a place, find an internship that works for you. You don't have to internship at a news station. You don't have to do the typical internship that mass comm students might do, because you can find a little different avenues to take and get a little dabble of everything to kind of see what you like and see what you don't like.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that is great advice. Thank you so much. Well, Amelia, thanks for giving us that insight into internships. And if you're interested in an internship, we've got some more information for you. If you want to intern as a mass comm major, you have to be a junior or senior, and you have to have completed 15 hours in the major. You also need to have a 2.5 GPA. Internship credit hours are variable with a maximum of 6. We also offer internship credit hours year-round in fall, spring, and summer 2 terms. And you can always get more information by emailing me at bfinkley@montevallo.edu, or feel free to just drop by my office here in Strong Hall. You can also learn more about mass comm internships at montevallo.edu/MC. Just click on internships. Well, that's all the time that we have for this episode of Intern Insights. Amelia, thanks so much for stopping by and talking about your time at Educator Dynamics. So we'll see you again next time.